Shearer and Farrell, raise the roof! Lovely, lovely speech, ladies. So now we have the little matter of the best man speech, La Piece de Resistance. I'd like to welcome to the stage Alan Conway and James Kilpatrick, everybody. Where's James? Where's James? I think is he outside doing his breathing techniques?
He did a runner!
Bathroom to zero.
James? I know, wait, I know. Deep breathing.
They're doing a joke about James not wanting to come on.
Nerves, that's fine. Alan, I know you've got demons from back at the Underwood's wedding. Deep breathing. Just imagine everybody. Just imagine everybody in the crowd.
Hello. I'm okay with that.
Vocal warm-up.
How now, Brown?
The tarantula who denied a bank loan. The tarantula who denied a bank loan. La 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 la. Power pose. Okay, here we are. Okay. And now, Hamptons Productions and the Farmhouse Entertainments make wedding history. This speech is presented and associated with the undisputed king of cocktails, the Moscow Mule. It is sanctioned by the New York State of Control Board. We have an attendance speech commissioner and head groomsman, Daniel Churchhouse. Executive chairman groomsman, Johnny Conway. Representing the World Speaking Council, we have David Garner, Rachel Farnsworth, and Harry Holzer. World Speaking President Dong Han. World Speaking Advisors Britt White, Pam Gilfond, Mark Underwood, and Maya and Tilda Conway. Beachside Supervisors and Musicians Danny Conway and Dalev Kafir. The three judges and bridesmaids Caroline Crossmore, Caitlin Kaur, Sarah Margolis. The timekeeper is Christy Holzer. In attendance we have Dr. Stephen Conway. And the referee for this speech is groomsman Thomas Martin. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 minutes for the greatest thespian speech of a lifetime. For the 175 people in attendance and the million of viewers at home. Let's get ready to rumble! In the red tie, weighing 167 pounds, his record is no best man speeches and one refused reading. From Oxford, England, James Killer Kilpatrick! And his opponent in the blue tie, weighing 175 pounds, his professional record is 2 best men speech, one that was mildly amusing and one that was terrible. From Leeds, England, Alan Akon
Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm going to start by saying Guy Conway is married. Now, for those of you who knew Guy in his 20s, you might have wondered whether this day would ever come. Hello, I know you did, wherever you are. And those who did wonder thought if he ever did, maybe it'd even be me he'd end up marrying. The thing is, if you asked either me or Guy what our longest relationship is, embarrassingly, we'd both have to say each other. We are the Joey and Chandler of this group, except in our case, we're both the awkward, unfunny one who's terrible with women. But eight years we lived together. 4 different flats, and what a flatmate he was. This guy. So there was the time in our first flat when, new to London, our boiler broke. A few days without hot water. I wasn't too concerned. Guy, on the other hand, was like, no, this isn't good enough. I'm going to speak to the landlord. I'm going to save us some money on this month's rent. I mean, in fairness, he did save us some money. We actually never had to pay any more rent to that landlord because he was so annoyed with the guy, he exercised a 6-month break clause and kicked us out of the flat. Thanks for that. There was also the time in our third flat where I was going on holiday to Ibiza. Early morning flight on a Saturday morning, so Friday night I'm tucked up in bed. Guy who's not coming on the holiday, he goes out for some after work beers, and I guess at some point in the evening decided that 1 week without his best friend and flatmate was just too much for him and that he needed to come and say goodbye. Except Guy's way of doing that was bursting into my room, unlocking my suitcase and tipping the entire contents onto the floor 10 minutes before my taxi was due to pick me up. So go, true story. What a flatmate, and Chris, I'm so jealous that you're now living with him. So when I was thinking about this speech, and so I said 8 years, 4 flats, and I was thinking theme of numbers, and I was like, how do you judge who your friends are? And I was like, you could maybe use Facebook, in which case I've probably got around 500. You could maybe, not showing off, well, you can maybe use, when Facebook gives you those handy reminders of birthdays, like how many people you actually wish happy birthday to, in which case I've probably got around 100. Or you could do, in a world where nobody needs to know anybody's phone number, the guys that know your mobile number off by heart, and if that's the way you judge your friends, then I have one, and it's this guy, Guy Conway. I don't know his, but he's always known mine. I may be pushing it, but I'm just going to see if you still know it.
Oh!
07709 431 902.
That's my phone number. In fairness, maybe that isn't so weird. Maybe Guy is just the sort of person who needs to know the phone numbers of his nearest and dearest in case anything goes wrong. So I'm sure he knows Christie's, right? Let's just check. I thought so. So, in fairness, Christy, we had 8 years. You've had 3. I'm sure in a few years' time he'll know yours as well. Woo!
It's getting hot here! What an incredible wedding! Everybody. Guy Conway's married! And James. Yes, you may have been roomies with Guy for 8 years, but we were woomies for 9 months. To quote a famous Conway, it's hard when you come to a wedding as best man and twin brother and you realise you're no longer the cutest siblings or the cutest twins in the room. Yes! I think Maya, Tilda, Sadie and Amelia were absolutely gorgeous today. Guy, I think our moment to be flower girls as well and truly. Hello. We still have Ty Limbo there, right? Yeah. And Christy, you look absolutely gorgeous. Stunning, elegant and chic. The most beautiful girl in the room, I think in any room in New York City. And Colin! I don't think you're an arsehole. Mind you, I haven't seen a man polarize a crowd in New York City like that since Donald Trump took on Hillary in last year's debates. I'm not sure what your slogan's going to be. Like, make that shirt great again. I joke. I joke. Me and Colin have known each other for 15 years now. We actually met each other on the very first day of university. And I was kind of moving into the halls of residence, and I found out my next door neighbour was going to be a guy called Colin who studied physics. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a physicist called Colin from England, this is what you're going to get. Anyway, I digress. It was summer 2014 and I was back from New York for a vacation holiday. I've been accused of slipping into an American accent when I'm talking in public in the States, so I apologise to my English friends in advance. But I was back and I was with Guy meeting for lunch outside the business school. I think Guy was trying to impress upon me that the London Business School was actually a place of academic pursuit. There it is. And not just a glorified weekend travel service. Well, we were walking along by Regent's Park and we passed a group outside a pub having lunch. And kind of a bit of chit-chatting back and forth, and me and Guy, a couple of introductions, and we walk away. And I kind of thought to myself, is that some classic Conway flirting? Classic. Anyway, a moment of quiet passed, and Guy says, "That was Christy." Oh? Yeah, she's cool. Oh, it was a very unusual comment from Guy Conway. But you have to ask yourself, how do we get from there, a single, pseudo-business savvy Guy Conway, alongside a bunch of excitable, post-college kids, indulging in the late summer sunshine, drinking too much wine, and forgetting about the realities of work, to here, a married, pseudo-business savvy Guy Conway, alongside a bunch of, well, excitable post-college kids, indulging in the late summer sunshine, drinking too much, and certainly forgetting about the realities of work? Well, Conway genes is the answer. A rare mix of both brains and brawn. A self-described stallion in the bedroom. Right? Well, as our beautiful blue eyes, athletic physique, aptitude for science, long flowing blonde hair, and powerful noses will tell you, me and Guy are indeed twins. We do have our similarities. Victims of babies from the 1980s, as front sleepers, our heads remain incredibly large. So large that on one school rafting trip, we were forced to wear extra large, special yellow helmets. The only two kids in the class. We have our differences. If you haven't noticed, Guy has extremely large, robust calves. Calves so large, they once cramped so severely, Mum and Dad were forced to call 911 for urgent paramedic attention.
999! 999!
Plus, we never forget his butter mushroom. Anyway. Anyway, identical or not, we'll have to save that battle for another time. It was always impressed upon us that we were not the twins, but merely brothers with our own individuality. However, we grew up very close, fortunately so. From the early days, I was aware I had a brother with incredible athletic talent.
Oh, sorry.
The Charlton brothers of the Shadwell primary soccer team. That's Charlton, not Chuckle. We commanded the playing field. Such were his soccer skills, Guy was forced to create his own soccer team in university. The Engineering White Sox was born in 2003, a combination of engineering geeks and ringers he drafted in from the house who could play soccer. Anyway, the highlight was a cup run in our 4th year of school. Guy left the house along with the other boys on a Saturday morning, left myself with my bustling Conway brains for an hour or two of academic studying bliss, and they returned a few hours later, beaten down and downtrodden and clearly in defeat. What could have gone wrong, I asked, as the three of these muddy, depressed-looking boys sat on my bedroom floor. I was informed a penalty shootout. Yeah? Well, Alfie, one of Huddersfield's finest soccer export talents, strikes the ball straight at the keeper. Dave Garner, ferocious in chasing victory, straight at the bar. Guy Conway, captain, manager, water boy extraordinaire, steps up to save the day, strikes the ball straight over the bar. So high, it was recently reported to be still in orbit. And I think documented as an act of aggression from Pyongyang. Ultimately, he found his way to skiing. From a pair of skiing novices on our first post-university ski trip, myself and Guy who once tucked his salopettes into his ski boots because he thought that's the way he went down, was kind of a novice. Anyway, last year in Verbier, I couldn't keep up with the former captain's slow. Guy, down the mountain. I was left chasing his snowy dust. As we got to the bottom, myself, scrawny calves cramping, powerful nose sucking into mountain air. Look at Guy. He's there, eating a Twix and sipping hot chocolate. Where did you learn to ski like that? Ski with Christy. Ski quick, or you ski solo.
So, I'm sure many people in this crowd will be familiar with the term the 7-year itch. Well, Guy was the inventor in his 20s of the lesser known term, the 3-month itch. So Guy's dating history in his 20s always followed the same 4-phase approach. Phase 1, oh, this girl seems quite nice. Phase 2, it's nice to just not have to go out with your mates every weekend and just have a night off. Phase 3, starting to notice a few red flags here. Followed by stage 4, the 3-month breakup. That all changed, however, on Friday, September 24th, 2014. To set the scene a little, as I said, I lived with Guy for 8 years, but unfortunately, like many great things, some things have to come to an end, and that summer, I moved into my own flat in East London, and Guy did what all 30-year-olds dream of, and moved back in with his parents. So we hadn't seen each other for a few weeks, but luckily we have tickets to go up to see the Ryder Cup in Scotland. For those who don't know, the Ryder Cup is a golf competition. It takes place every 2 years between the best golfers of Europe and America. So the plan is we'd go up, have a few beers, watch some golf, listen to some overweight Americans shout, "Get in the hole!" Literally! Literally every 2 seconds. I say, America, you have many, many great exports, but golf fans isn't one of them. But as I say, I digress. We're sat on the tarmac about to fly to Scotland, and Guy turns to me and he says something he'd never said to me before. He said, "James, I've met someone really special," and that person was Christy. And here we are, almost 3 years to the day later, celebrating your marriage. And what can I say about you that today, Christy, that hasn't already been said by everyone here? Like, from the minute I met you, you're so warm, so welcoming, so kind, so lovely, so beautiful, smart, one of the most impressive women I've ever met, and probably will meet. I mean that, I really mean that. And it must be difficult for Guy. Let's put ourselves in Guy's shoes. He goes to school, straight A's. Goes to university, studies aerospace engineering, which is literally rocket science, and gets a first. Then he enters the corporate world before going to one of the most prestigious business schools in the world and getting a master's. And yet he's still the dumb one in the relationship. Sorry, but it's true. As has been mentioned before London, Christy had a design business, a fashion company, so she's clearly the creative one. We all only have to look over here to see she's got the look sewn up. So all I say is, like, Colin, you may have done a really lovely boxing intro for us, but the only person here punching today is you. I joke. So this is the serious part. Guy, you are my best friend. You've been my best friend for a long time. And when I was thinking about this speech, I thought of many stories about you, most of which were completely untellable for a PG audience. But there's one story I kept coming back to, and it's not the sort of story you'd normally tell at a best man speech, because it's definitely not funny. But about 6 or 7 years ago, I was traveling in Central America and had what's probably the worst weekend of my life. Started with the death of someone I was travelling with, ended with me being robbed at gunpoint, and was very traumatic. And when that happened, there were two people I contacted. One was my mum, and the other was you. And that's because, you know, we have all the jokes and laughs, but at the end of the day, you are my best friend, and you've always been there for me, and I know you always will be there for me. I hope you also know that I'll be there for you too. You're the most amazing guy. I think everyone here knows that anyway. But yeah, if I was the sort of person who liked a sentimental pun, I'd say you're the best guy I know, but I'm not, so I won't. Yeah, and I mean, as Colin and a few people mentioned earlier, I was very nervous about today. I made it quite clear to Guy that I was quite happy just having the usher gig. You get the shoot, you're in all the photos, and you don't have to stand up here in front of all you people. But actually, now it's very nearly over. I can say I'm so proud to stand up here as your best man, and like a proper best man, not just the pity vote you get as a twin brother. I really mean that. Actually, I just need to swing through here and grab it. I think I left the glass. There we go, we got it. So before I pass over to Alan to finish off proceedings, I'd just like everybody to raise their glass, mainly because I really need a drink, but also because everyone here wishes you two a lifetime of happiness together. And to the happy couple, to Guy and Christy and Guy.
To follow. Are you sure you have a fear of public speaking? Because that was pretty fucking good. As James mentioned in his part 2 that got sentimental, we were always surprised that this relationship made it past 3 months. And that's not because of the 3-month itch by any stretch. Christy doesn't no 3-month itch this time, but around the 3-month mark, Guy Conway with his classic Conway charm turns to Christy and he says, and I quote, "Christy, you're not as shit as my previous girlfriends." And was surprised it wasn't taken in the endearing way in which it was meant. So yeah, we were surprised it lasted after 3 months. Christy, I've only known you for 3 years, but the truth is I can't really remember what our Conway family life was like before you came on board. It's really like you've always been here. And I was trying to think of a story to sum up our relationship over the past 3 years. And it's tough. Your qualities are endless. You're kind, you're caring, you're supportive, you're a beacon of advice, you're artistic, you're stylish, you're cool, you're incredibly, incredibly cool. You've revolutionized the flat, so it's almost like never lived there. You're intelligent, incredibly, incredibly intelligent. I've thought of the times that we've hung out together. Times at the beach, times in the pub, times we've picked up Tate's cookies, times we've eaten breakfast outside the farmhouse, times that we've had big green egg dinners at Johnny and Suzanne's, times we've had takeouts at the Halls Around table, Passover singing and New Year ringing, and I couldn't think of a single story that summed up our relationship. And I kind of realised that there's not a single story to sum you up, Chrissy. Every single of your talents leads to the basis that you make every single person, every single friend and family member around you feeling so incredibly loved. And that's your most incredible talent, which is why there's so many people in this room here today who wouldn't have missed this wedding for the world. So it's a great pleasure, the greatest pleasure to have you as part of the family, part of as a sister. Living out here for the time that Christy and Guy has been together has let me get to know more about Christy and the Halsers and Christy and Guy's relationship. And with that, I can see a lot of similarities between Guy and Christy. It's no surprise to me that you're both such a good fit together. Developing bonds and friendships over the past 3 years, not just with Christy, but with Rusty, Chait and Teddy, has been incredibly special. I can see Christy shares the same fortune as Guy, with myself, Johnny and Danny, in having a big group of siblings. The fun, laughter and support you get from having a big group is incredibly special. It brings me back to a Christmas Eve. We've been back from the university's winter term, and we were back in the pubs enjoying Christmas Eve. Like the Halses, we two are Jewish people who enjoy a good Christmas. And we'd been out having a few beers, and we walked back from the pub about a mile through a very wintry Leeds evening, and we arrived back a little tipsy. As our return back to our house, National Drive, Guy reached inside his coat pocket and pulled out a cassette case, which was, kind of shows how long ago university was. And out of the cassette race, thanks to, he pulls out a pre-rolled joint.
Oh, hello.
So,
Hello.
so on a freezing, wintry Christmas night, myself, Guy, and Johnny, Danny, go down the side of the house and smoke a joint. Freezing, tipsy, and giggling away, we ask, "What if Mum and Dad catch us?" Well, they'll probably ask for a drag, Gary. Guys, twin brothers, we've shared so many experiences, far too many to list, and it is the greatest pleasure and honour that I get to stand up at your wedding. You are a wonderful brother and a great, great friend, loyal, supportive and reliable. While you have fallen in love with a wonderful, brilliant woman, she too has fallen in love with the finest man that I know. As Conway brothers, we're incredibly lucky to have such great parents. Married for over 40 years, Mum and Dad always made a loving relationship look incredibly easy. A coolness and trendiness remains to this day. Steve, in the last 24 hours, has twice been described to me as a Mick Jagger. And Ella's even cooler than Steve. I saw the same love and affection between Lenny and Marcia, and it was great to see. Guy and Christy, you've had the best examples of how to love. You are the two finest characters I know, and the fact that you found each other is ever so more special. You are a wonderful brother, an amazing sister, a fine uncle and a loving aunt, and when the time comes, we'll be amazing parents. So, before the crowd starts to complain, I think we're at 9:58. Everyone's getting thirsty. Let's once again raise our glasses to love, to happiness, to the future, to all the wonderful things to come, to Christy and to Guy. Cheers!